Mystery as Eamonn Holmes is snubbed by his new TV wife, after backlash over Isabel Webster's sacking. The Irish host was announced to be joining GB News in 2021. Eamonn Holmes was seemingly snubbed by his new TV wife, after backlash over Isabel Webster's sacking from GB News. The Northern Irish television host was announced to be joining GB News back in December 2021. He then began presenting its new breakfast show alongside Isabel Webster in January 2022. Last year, Isabel Webster was dropped from the channel, with The Sun revealing last month how her exit from GB News was caused by close relationships on the show turning sour over her working hours. Eamonn, 65, now has a new co-host for his breakfast show, Ellie Costello, 31. Ellie took to her Instagram this week to gush over her job, with her working alongside Stephen Dixon. The blonde bombshell posted for the first time yesterday about her new gig, but just about Stephen, her regular host, and not Eamonn. Happy Thursday and Happy New Year if it's not too late to say that. Thank you for your company this morning. We'll be back tomorrow from 6 a.m., she penned in the caption of her Instagram post. Fans were quick to comment on the post, with many praising Ellie and others begging for Isabel to come back. Love you both but need Isabel back too, penned one. You are both terrific presenters Ellie and work really well together, said a second, adding, we do miss Isabel though in our house but recognize these things happen. Keep up the great work, you are a top performer. A third person then wrote, just love Ellie and Stephen together on GB News. Despite Ellie seemingly snubbing her new work husband, Eamonn still shared a gushing post about his new co-host recently. Posting an image from behind the studio desk, the Northern Irish host wrote, a new year, a new day and a new breakfast lineup on at GB News. It's now Eamonn and at Ellie Costello TV from 6 to 9:30. It's fresh, bright, different and I hope we have your company on TV, online, on your smartphone, on your radio, and by asking your smart device to play GB News. Please join us and say hello. Isabel isn't the only star to have been axed from GB News in recent weeks. Mark Dolan was also axed from his show after 4 years. Taking to X, he said, GB News have made the decision to permanently relieve me of my duties at the channel. I will speak publicly about this in due course. Speaking about leaving the channel ahead of the launch of his new YouTube series, he said, let me tell you that leaving GB News was not my choice. I was fired, it took minutes, but let me tell you, they did it nicely. I have made friends for life, cherished friendships. And that is a wonderful thing. Plus, it's my view that Britain needs GB News and I believe it will prevail. But I am going to prevail too, and then some, with an online product that will get the country and the world talking. I can do more here than I could do over there, so watch me go. Mystery as Eamonn Holmes is snubbed by his new TV wife, after backlash over Isabel Webster's sacking. The professional career of veteran broadcaster Eamonn Holmes has recently taken a turbulent turn, drawing widespread attention from media outlets and fans alike. The unexpected departure of Isabel Webster, his longtime co-host on GB News, and the subsequent fallout have sparked speculation about behind-the-scenes tensions, power dynamics, and the future of his on-screen partnerships. The departure of Isabel Webster. Isabel Webster's exit from GB News came as a shock to many, including Holmes himself. Reports suggest that the move was prompted by a scheduling conflict. Channel executives allegedly requested Webster to increase her on-screen commitments from 3 days a week to 5, aligning her schedule with Holmes. However, Webster reportedly declined, citing personal and professional constraints, which ultimately led to her departure. Holmes, who had co-hosted with Webster since the inception of GB News, appeared blindsided by the decision. While he briefly acknowledged her departure on social media, the brevity of his statement led some to question his level of support for Webster. Fans of the pair expressed disappointment, with many accusing GB News of mishandling the situation. Introduction of Ellie Costello as co-host. Following Webster's departure, Ellie Costello was announced as Holmes' new co-host. Costello, a rising star at GB News, was seen as a fresh addition to the network's morning lineup. However, the on-screen chemistry between Holmes and Costello has reportedly been far from seamless. Observers have noted a lack of warmth in their interactions, further fueled by Costello's social media activity. Despite appearing regularly alongside Holmes on the show, she has refrained from mentioning him or sharing behind-the-scenes moments, sparking rumors of tension between the two. Fans have described the partnership as awkward, with some suggesting that Costello is wary of being drawn into the controversy surrounding Holmes and Webster. The backlash against Holmes. The controversy surrounding Webster's exit has placed Holmes in a difficult position. Critics have accused him of not doing enough to support Webster during the scheduling dispute, while others have speculated that he may have played a role in her removal. Holmes has vehemently denied these claims, insisting that he had no say in Webster's departure. In a recent interview, Holmes stated, "I had no part in Isabel's exit. It was a decision made by management, and I was not consulted. I've always respected Isabel and enjoyed working with her." Despite his denial, the criticism has continued, with some fans calling for a boycott of the show in solidarity with Webster. GB News strategic restructuring. Webster's departure is part of a broader shakeup at GB News, which has seen several high-profile presenters leave or be reassigned in recent months. Industry insiders suggest that the network is attempting to refresh its lineup to attract a younger audience and boost ratings. Mark Dolan, another prominent presenter, was also recently let go, further highlighting the extent of the network's restructuring. While these changes are seen as necessary by some, others have criticized GB News for its lack of transparency and the impact on staff morale. Personal turmoil for Holmes. Adding to Holmes' challenges is the turmoil in his personal life. His long-standing marriage to Ruth Langsford reportedly ended earlier this year, with Holmes now in a new relationship with PR professional Katie Alexander. The breakdown of his marriage and the public scrutiny surrounding his new relationship have added further strain to an already difficult period for the broadcaster. Fan reactions and the future of GB News. Fans of Holmes have expressed mixed reactions to the changes. While some have sympathized with his position, others have criticized him for his perceived role in Webster's exit and the awkward dynamic with Costello. Social media platforms have been flooded with comments from viewers, many of whom have called for a return of the Holmes-Webster pairing. As GB News continues its restructuring efforts, the network's leadership faces the challenge of retaining its audience while navigating the fallout from these recent changes. Holmes, for his part, appears determined to move forward, focusing on his role as a broadcaster and addressing the controversies head-on. The mystery surrounding the dynamics between Holmes and Costello, coupled with the backlash over Webster's sacking, ensures that this story is far from over. For now, GB News viewers will be watching closely to see how this professional drama unfolds in the weeks and months to come. Eamonn Holmes furious after GB News host accused of getting Isabel Webster sacked. Eamonn Holmes hit back at claims about his former GB News breakfast co-host Isabel Webster as he shared an update on social media. TV host Eamonn Holmes has hit back after being accused of playing a part in the exit of his co-host Isabel Webster. Last month, it was revealed that Isabel's departure from GB News was due to tensions over her working hours. The 42-year-old, who previously presented Sunrise on Sky News, co-hosted GB News Breakfast with Eamonn until her abrupt departure before Christmas. Eamonn, aged 65, has now returned to work following the show's reshuffle and shared a picture with his new breakfast show co-presenter. He lauded Ellie Costello, 31, as fresh, bright and different. Sharing a snapshot from behind the studio desk, he wrote, "A new year, a new day and a new breakfast line-up on at GB News. It's now Eamonn and at Ellie Costello TV from 6 to 9.30. It's fresh, bright, different and I hope we have your company on TV, online, on your smartphone, on your radio and by asking your smart device to play GB News. Please join us and say hello." However, some fans criticize the TV veteran in the comments section underneath his post. One disgruntled Instagram user told Eamonn, "Your mate got sacked for not being right-wing enough and you sat back and did nothing. With friends like you," to which Eamonn responded, "And you know nothing." The sudden split of TV duo Eamonn and Isabel surprised fans. The seasoned presenter discussed his former co-star's abrupt exit from the program earlier today. During today's broadcast January 6, he expressed his sentiments, stating, "It is our first day without Isabel, and we miss her already." Eamonn assured fans, "We will make sure they are passed on. Thank you for taking the time and trouble," as he wrapped up his commentary. Isabel, aged 41, has been succeeded in GB News morning roster by Ellie Costello, who at the age of 31 has been speedily crowned the network's Holly Willoughby-esque figure. In a sweeping revamp, the British news outlet has witnessed a wave of pivotal adjustments, highlighted by the unforeseen departure of Isabel, the viewer's beloved figure. Her step back came alongside other significant alterations, including diminishing the broadcast duration of high-profile politician Jacob Rees-Mogg and phasing out Mark Dolan's weekend show, signaling an extensive effort to rejuvenate the channel's ensemble. Sources hinted at an off-camera clash concerning work conditions as the motive behind Isabel's decision to bid farewell. Sources have suggested that Isabel found herself at odds with the station as reports claimed bosses wanted to move her on-air days from 3 to a full working week. The dispute is said to have cast a shadow over contract talks, leading to off-screen friction. An insider divulged to The Sun regarding Eamonn's dynamic on his program. Eamonn's obviously the main star of the show and likes to be in charge. He's now looking forward to working with Ellie, who's a young talent he can help mold as her career progresses. After Isabel made her exit, Eamonn took to social media with a sweet parting message, posting, "Bye my girl X." Eamonn Holmes, a veteran broadcaster and co-host of GB News' popular breakfast program, has found himself at the center of controversy following allegations that he was responsible for the departure of his co-presenter, Isabel Webster. The claims have sparked heated debates on social media and within industry circles, leading Holmes to respond with frustration and denial. The allegations and background. The controversy began when news broke that Isabel Webster, Holmes' longtime co-host on GB News, had parted ways with the channel. While the official reasons for Webster's exit were not initially disclosed, speculation soon arose that internal disagreements and power dynamics within the channel were to blame. Fans and critics alike pointed fingers at Holmes, accusing him of playing a role in Webster's departure due to perceived behind-the-scenes tensions. Insiders at GB News reportedly claimed that Webster's departure was linked to disagreements over her working schedule. Channel executives had requested that she extend her on-screen presence from 3 days a week to 5, aligning her schedule with the demands of the expanding breakfast show. Webster allegedly pushed back on this request, citing personal and professional commitments. In contrast, Holmes continued with his 3-day hosting schedule, leading some to speculate that management favored Holmes and pressured Webster into an untenable situation. When Webster chose to leave, whispers of a conspiracy began circulating, with critics accusing Holmes of not supporting his co-host and even facilitating her exit.